Patriarchal and Hebrew History. 13. From the conquest of Heshbon and Bashan to the death of Moses. Numbers 22 through Deuteronomy 34. AM 2552 to 2553. BCE 1452 to 1451. Alarm of Balak, king of Moab, and his device to thwart the Israelites. Numbers 22, 2 through 6. The character of Balaam, a worshipper of the true God, a prophet, but corrupt and mercenary. The negotiations with Balaam, verse 7 through 21. How are we to reconcile God's permission to Balaam to go with the messengers and his subsequent rebuke and condemnation? Perhaps it's compiled from different sources, and the sources don't agree on that point. Account of Balaam's journey, verse 22 through 41. Balaam's prophetic utterances and the divine overruling of his speech, and Balak's disappointment, 23 and 24. The Israelites lured into idolatry by their intercourse with the Moabites, 25, verse 2 and 3. Yeah, one of the most common ways that people become part of one faith or another, at least on an outer sense, is the cohabitation. So when they see that as purely a lusty thing, whatever spiritual path they're on doesn't hold together. Sometimes it's just exposure to teachings, and practices. The judgment of the Lord against them, verse 5 through 9. By Lord we mean increasing existence. New census of the tribes. Compare this numbering with the one at the beginning of the 40 years. Okay, we're in Deuteronomy, aren't we now? 146 and 2651. Compare also the numbering of the Levites at the different times. (339) and 2662. What prediction was here fulfilled? 14:28 through 50 and 26:64 and 65. Overthrow of the Midianites and the capture of their land and their wealth. 31. Prophecy is far less about prediction than most churches are going to treat it as. Request of the 2.5 tribes to receive the portion of their inheritance in the recently conquered territory. 32, 1 through 5. Objections of Moses, verse 6 through 15. The pledge and contract and final consent, verse 16 through 42. Directions concerning the previous occupiers of the promised land, 33, 51 through 56. You gotta question that motif that these other people live there and it's promised to you, so go and do what you like to take over it. America was given the same treatment. And if you remember from our previous book in this Jesus and Christianity series, that people are like, oh, these savages defending their land, how dare they? Appointment of a commission for the distribution of the land. 34, 16 through 29. Now, again, I'm not calling them savages. I'm saying that's what they said. appointment of cities of refuge and conditions which made them available. 35. Farewell discourse of Moses. A. Recapitulation of their experience in the wilderness and exhortation to obedience. Deuteronomy 1. Oh, I guess now we're switching to Deuteronomy. 1 through 4. Rehearsal of the law and injunctions to keep it in spirit and in truth. 5 through 26. Sanctions of the law and prophetic blessings and cursings. 26 through 30. Writing of the law and the sacred memorial song and directions as to future use of them. 31 and 32. Farewell blessing to the several tribes. 33. The vision and death of Moses. 34. Give an estimate of his character. And see, if you're referring to different books, it's probably better every time you give a verse reference to actually say which is which. By each, chapter and verse reference.